Welcome to a brand new video. We have a special one for you. It is a Q&A. So I asked my Instagram following, send in your questions. Today I'm gonna answer them here. So if you're not following me, I don't know what you're doing, but we're getting around maybe 15 answered. So hope you like them. Stay tuned. Let's go. If you could eat one meal for the rest of your life, what would it be? This is a good question. If I had to eat one meal, it would probably have to be a steak dinner with sweet potatoes and asparagus with a glass of wine, red wine. That is actually, fun fact, my go-to meal after a victory of any important meet that I do. So the steak, medium rare, love it. So, what do I do for cardio? Personally, I do zero form of cardio. There was 27 studies done. Is cardio bad for your strength training? And based on that, they showed it did not negatively affect strength, but in untrained athletes, but in trained athletes, they saw smaller strength gains. So I'm not saying don't do cardio, but I would limit maybe the amount that you do per week to maybe do some light walking sessions or low intensity type of training. So that's maybe around like 10 to 15 minutes of a walking on an incline, just getting your heart rate up. So maybe in like that 120 to 130 range, but that's it. But personally, I don't do that. I don't have time. So I don't do any form of cardio. How did you deal with the first time you didn't place first in a meet? The first time I didn't place first in a meet was back in 2015. I bombed out at the Arnold Sports Festival, and it was devastating. I really came into that meet thinking I was gonna crush everyone there, and so did my coach. But I ended up bombing on squats. And the way that I dealt with it was, we went back to the drawing board. I think from my sports background with football, given that we would lose maybe one week and then have a game the next week, it made us be more resilient because we didn't have much time to get ready for the next game. So you just had to forget what had happened and move on to the next game because you had another chance to win. So for me, that was kind of just instilled in who I was as an athlete. So when I lost, it was like, all right, on to the next. Like, what do we have to learn from what had just happened, and how do we correct that going forward? So I talked to my coach, we saw what we did wrong, and we corrected it for the next meet. So that's what my recommendation to you would be, is don't worry about a loss. It hurts and stings initially, but don't allow that to dictate what's gonna happen in the next meet, for example. Just learn from it, move on. Have you ever had training not go as planned very close to meet day? Yes. So I don't remember which meet it was, but I was leading into the competition and I was absolutely demolished. Like my body, central nervous system, everything was just not where it needed to be. And every meet is a learning experience, in my opinion. So we, as a collective group, were like, look, we're about 2 weeks out. Typically, I taper a week out. We were like, look, we're gonna start the taper now because I was just so beat up. But yeah, I've definitely had a meet where training didn't go to plan and we adjusted. What weight do you walk around at? So right now I'm around 167 pounds. I typically like to be around 3 to 4 pounds most above my weight class, which is 163 pounds. And the reason being is because I don't water load. I did a water load 2 or 3 times in my powerlifting career. But typically I just like to manipulate gut volume with food. So eating very dense food and not eating high voluminous food. So yeah, I typically walk around 167 pounds, and maybe the heaviest that I've like really been outside of competition is like 171 pounds. But I just feel so bloated. I don't like the way that I look. I'm a very vain person. I like my aesthetics, if you couldn't tell. But yeah, 167. Yep. Is that yours? Would you rather go out with messy hair or with dirty, unironed clothes? Oh my God. So if you don't know, I am a stickler for unironed clothes. Like, I iron every piece of my clothing before I come to the gym, before I step out. So my hair is also on point too, but if I really had to like decide, I think I could get away with quote unquote messy hair versus unironed dirty clothes. Like, if you look at anyone in the street and you see like a stain on their shirt or something, it's like, one, how many times did you even wear that before you saw me? And two, it's like, do you even care what you look like? Whereas like the messy hair, I think that's like a thing. Like, people have that as a look. I don't know many people that have a look for dirty, unironed clothes. So yeah, I think I'd choose messy hair. Why you don't answer me? All right, so look, so if you're not following me, I asked my Instagram following, T_Atwood, ding! I asked these Q&As on there, so if you're not following me, go to Instagram. But reason why I don't get to many questions is because I get so many. I had over like 100-something questions for this one segment, and I had to choose. I think I narrowed it down to 15. But what I typically try to do is I literally read through all of them, so don't think that I don't. But what I try to do is I bucketize them into kind of themes. So if I see a common question amongst many people, I'll answer that one question. It's just a pick of the litter of whose I answer. So that's the main reason why I don't answer you, Wafanye. But yeah, don't take it anyway, and don't be offended if I don't. But hopefully I am answering kind of your main question that you're asking for majority of the people. Go-to gym candy. This is a great question. So right now I don't have them on me, but Skittles. If you don't eat Skittles, the purple pack, what are you doing with your life? But that is my go-to. Right now I actually have sour strips in my bag, but I'm not eating them right now. I don't need them, but I have sour strips as like a backup, but typically it's Skittles purple pack. Fun fact, those are like one of my go-tos for in competition. So hopefully you stayed around to listen to this answer, but purple pack Skittles, competition, that's the secret. Should I start over with my program if I was in week 2 of 12 because I had to take 2 weeks off? My answer is yes. So I actually have a subscription on my Instagram that you can subscribe to. So if you're not following me on Instagram, you're missing out. But I actually am coming out with a program sometime next year, and I'll be giving pretty much a 12-week powerlifting prep. I answer more of these questions to my subscriber base than I do anywhere else. So if you're not subscribed to me, I don't know what else you want. But yes, start over. 2 weeks into 12-week prep isn't bad. And taking 2 weeks off, you want to get your fitness levels back up and get your motor patterns back. Yeah, I would say start over. It's not hurting anyone. What mental barriers have you overcome this last year with my life? So I was actually battling a few injuries leading into nationals in April and worlds in June. And then I re-injured myself in like September, so about a month ago. So I've had a lot of mental barriers that I was facing in terms of just injury. I also have a new kid, which added to that. I pivoted into a new career for consulting, and I was prepping for 2 meets back to back, so April and June. And the mental barriers were more or less me trying to get out of a prevention mode and start attacking again. And I think what I did very well was I surrounded myself with people that were after the same goals as myself. So I collabed with a bunch of people. If you haven't seen the video, you should go check it out. We lifted over 12,000 pounds. It's a great video. But I had some of the world's strongest people here in the gym, and I got to talk to them. So I was surrounding myself with people that were better, if not stronger than me. I was continuously talking to them to kind of get out of the funk that I was in. And I think those kind of 2 main themes emerged. So if you're dealing with any type of mental barriers, those are the 2 things that helped me. I don't know if they will for you, but it at least did for me. So hope that helped. Do you have any cheat meals? If so, frequency and go-to. So I don't know if I really have a go-to, but I do seem to attach myself to certain meals when I'm craving them. So as of late, it's been a Shake Shack hamburger with French fries and a shake. That's been like my cheat meal, quote unquote cheat meal. I do count my macros, so it still fits within my allotted calories for the day. I just save that meal for the calories that I've allotted for it. So I'm not overeating, but it is quote unquote a cheat meal because I'm just craving like a hamburger or sweet, and that's it. That's what I do. So frequency, man, given that they fit within my macros, I can do it as frequent as I'd like, but I probably do it around like, I try to minimize once, maybe twice per week, maybe. But I typically do at least one. So Chris asks, how am I doing? I'm doing good. Thank you for asking. And I don't think that this question gets asked enough. A lot of us probably aren't doing as well as we should, either physically, mentally, emotionally, and we hide our feelings. I think we need to talk more and normalize being emotionally okay with spilling how you feel. If something is going wrong and you don't know where to go or you don't know what to do, talk to someone. I talk to numerous people, my father, my coaches, my wife. Like I talk to a lot of people, friends, family, and I make sure that I am always upfront with how I'm feeling. I lean on the people that are there to listen to me. So, is Sheffield still happening? Let me get down for this one. Yes, the Sheffield is still happening. If you don't know what the Sheffield is, SBD, my sponsor, they are holding the biggest prize pool meet in powerlifting history. It's happening on March 25th, 2023 next year, and I was invited. A group of individuals, men and women, we're gonna be going to Sheffield, UK, where SBD is located and headquartered, and we're gonna have one of the biggest prize pool meets ever with some of the best in the world. So yes, it's still happening. I'm prepping for it right now. And this was a great segue to tell you, we have a great series coming your way. It's gonna be an exclusive series, but it's gonna be very few episodes, but we're gonna document everything leading up to the meet, and we're gonna put together some bangers. So stay tuned, but yes, Sheffield's still happening, March 2023. Get ready. All right, so that's gonna wrap up today's Q&A video. Thank you for tuning in. If you stayed until the end here and you're new, hit that subscribe button. If you liked it, hit the like button. It helps the algorithm, helps the channel grow. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed. Hope you got some insight. If you liked it, stay tuned for the next video. Let's go.